Good.
Coach, your organization talks a lot about being champions on and off the court. For Cole to be named among the NBA's best off the court, how happy were you for him, and what work have you seen him do over the course of your time here?
I mean, it's been a constant for him. It speaks to his character, it speaks to his care, it speaks to exactly what we talk about when you are with the Orlando Magic. It's more than the basketball court. It's off the court and how you can take care of those around you and the community around you.
How is Wendell doing?
Wendell's progressing, going through treatments, as he's been, and just progressing slowly.
Has he been able to do? What else has he been able to do?
He's been on the bike. He's been on the bike a little bit. He's doing some spot shooting.
There's been some. There's obviously some different contexts regarding each contest, but you guys have statistically the best defense in the fourth quarter this year. What does that say about your group's maturity that when the time comes, they're able to respond to the challenge?
I think their level of focus has been great. I think they understand getting into the game plan, when the time counts. They've done a great job of holding each other accountable. The lines of communication that they have with one another, knowing that games are won by the defensive end of the floor, and these guys have really have engaged to that and locked in on that.
Jonathan said on Wednesday that he's really kind of starting to feel like himself and kind of get his legs back under him. Obviously, you prefer to have guys maybe start the season strong, but is there a process, especially early in the season, of guys just kind of getting themselves going and kind of getting into the rhythm of the season?
Absolutely. I think every team and every player would like to say you jump from training camp right into mid-season mode, but that's not a reality. Us being 13 games in, I think it's very important that guys are starting to feel that rhythm, and this is a good time to start to find that rhythm and feel for what the game is giving, and your conditioning and your footwork and your timing. All those things come into play as you move forward in the season.
I know a lot of these guys are young, but they've had some experience in the league. How do you kind of build that trust that these guys know how to get themselves peaking at the right time? Obviously, like March, April's far away from now, but know how to pace themselves through a season.
Well, it's pacing yourself, but it's also the portion of taking care of your body, understanding the recovery. We have this amazing facility for that reason, so you learn how to recover the right way, and that you're taking care of your body. You're being a pro. You do want to be playing your best basketball in March and April, but you're building towards that in these months now, and understanding the rhythm that you need. And these guys work their tails off, so I think that's a big portion of it, that the work that you put in continues to prepare you for that.
What's the message been to Jalen after kind of the rough shooting night he had against Indiana?
Same thing. Good shots. We will always stay with that process. He's taking good shots at the right time. There were 3 of them that were end of shot clocks. There were 3 of them that were wide open, no one in his vicinity. So I will never tell a guy to turn those shots down, because it's so important that we have a level of comfort in how we are approaching the game and our process, and the fact of no matter how much work he's put in, as you still see he's still on the floor now working on his game. So that's part of it. Keep the same level of confidence.
We saw Caleb get some run yesterday in the G League. What went into that decision, and what can that do for him?
I think it's great. I joked with him this morning. I said he was flirting with a triple-double, 10, 7, and 7. So I think it's great. Guys that aren't necessarily in the rotation in this moment, being able to go down and play, and that's the closeness and the togetherness that we have with Osceola and the coaching staff there, as well as the players. He was embraced with no hesitation, came in, fit in right away, and I just think it's great. And it builds confidence within what he's doing, and knowing like he's still able to get out there and play the right way.
Is that something that could happen again, or is?
I think these are going to be things that'll go on as the process happens. I think it really just is looked at. Sometimes we're on the road and it's not a possibility, but it just happened to work out this way this time, and we'll continue to look at it in those terms as the season goes on.
There's been a lot of off-season and training camp talking about what defensively Kenny and Jalen could do together. As you've seen it play out now through, I know it's just 13 games, but what's been your early returns on how they've worked together as a defensive backcourt?
I think they're really doing a great job bouncing off each other. Their communication has improved so much from training camp about the things that they see, how they can get the different coverages with different guys. They change the matchups at times. I noticed, if you guys noticed in the game, when Jalen picked up the 2 early fouls, Kenny came over and let me take him for this possession. And they just understand exactly what they need to do in those moments. 1, to keep each other on the floor, but 2, to also lift each other up.
With this Philly team, we haven't seen too much of Paul George and Embiid together, but when you look at them, what challenges are you guys preparing for?
You have 2 all-stars, 2 Hall of Fame type players. your ability to defend them the right way without fouling. Make sure they see different coverages, because great players can always pick apart your coverages if you're doing the same thing over and over again. You've got to be smart beating them to spots, making them uncomfortable as possible. Again, and I'll say it again, without fouling. But they're great players that you just have to make their jobs difficult, knowing that they're gonna get a lot of touches as well as a lot of shots up. So we got to make sure that we're smart about how we go about doing it.
What's the coaching angle to guarding Joel Embiid, attempting to keeping him off the line?
Show your hands early, beat them to the spot early, and show your hands late and beat them to the spot late. But you have to keep mixing it up, because he has a knack for getting to the free throw line. And there's 29 other teams that also have not been able to figure that out. But our ability to do that and keep mixing the coverages up is going to be very important for us tonight. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You've been part of a lot of good defensive basketball teams, but the stretch that you guys have been on, recently, how impressed have you been with your group's ability on that end of the floor?
I'm very impressed. That's something I knew we can do, we can accomplish with the type of guys we have. I'm to just even start how we started defensively is truly shows a lot about our group and what we aiming for, I would say.
When you signed with the Magic and throughout the preseason, we asked you so much about playing alongside Jalen Suggs, and rightfully so, but what was it like the last couple games playing alongside Anthony Black down the stretch in the fourth quarter?
It's been great. He's a young guy, that shows his emotions a lot. But when he's on that court, man, he's truly amazing. He take care of the ball on offense. Get us, in position. One of our players that can get down the hill and attack for us, and make plays. And defensively, man, he's been tremendous. He's 6'8" guard, can guard on the ball. Can defend, can block shots. Whatever we asking of him, he's doing for us, and I'm truly happy for him.
How receptive has he been to some of the teachings that you and Jalen have been able to impart on him a little bit?
He's been receptive to him. That's everybody. We talk to each other. We hold each other accountable. We respect you not to take it personal, because we coming from a good place, just trying to know what we see as teammates. And vice versa, they can come to me and tell me what they see, and I do the same for them. But everybody's been doing great as far as watching film, correcting the mistakes that we need to correct, and just transition to the game.
3 weeks into the season now, it's obviously a little bit different always joining a new team. How do you feel like you're starting to kind of settle in with this team and then kind of find your
I'm getting there, but we still got a lot of pieces that's been missing. Paulo is still out, Wendell is still out. So when them guys come back, it's gonna be another shift, for us. But I'm adjusting well. I'm starting to find that rhythm. I'm starting to find my shots where I need to be. But mostly, I hang my hat off just playing defense. The more I can continue to do that and focus there, my offensive game will open up. But right now I'm pretty much having fun playing defense with this group, and it's been truly amazing just to be out there and playing, and then just seeing what we can accomplish, and then how deep we go into our bench, and just seeing that be successful early. It's truly great for us.
Is there anything about this Magic team that, again, 13 games in, that has surprised you, or maybe you didn't know before you signed in the offseason?
Nothing has surprised me yet, but main thing for me is just the toughness, the competitiveness that this group has, and it seems like we never give up. Always in a fight, regardless of what's the score say. I feel like for us, defense is our main priority, and the past through 13 games, we've done that. And I think we're second in the league. So that's kudos out to us, and for us taking the game plan and just actually executing it.
Kenny, the big guys are bound to get their blocks, but this backcourt has done a good job at blocking the ball as well, blocking shots. How difficult is that as a quote unquote smaller guy? And
I mean, it's good for us. We can't get them at the rim, but we can get them down below as far as like getting our hands on deflection, getting steals while they're in their paint. But sometimes we show our athleticism and get up there and try to block it a few times. But for us, it's just being in the right place at the right time, being able to get our hands on a couple balls inside that paint, and being able to get them deflections and steals when we need them. And our group has been good at that.
You guys get a lot of those deflections and those kind of balls shown. You guys get a swipe at it. Is that something you guys drill? I mean, it's not just you. It's like Jalen gets stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it just like I said, like sometimes we're not gonna be able to get up there and try to block it. So we got to try to get our hands on the ball before they even get it up. So I mean, and we have guys that's good at doing that, getting steals on ball and off ball, like in passing lanes. So like that's just good for us.
There's obviously some different context out there as well, but you guys, I think, are the best fourth quarter defense in the league statistically. What does that say about this group that when the time comes that you guys are able to lock it in and really come together?
It says a lot. Like I said, it says a lot about our young group. We have a young group that locks in, defensively, when the game's on the line, when it matters, and just showing that, means a lot. Like they've been here before, and they know what it takes, to win a game.
You're a podcaster now.
I said a podcaster. Yes, I am. No, it's just something for me, like another outlet. And the reason why I started Dog Talk is because I felt like a lot of my fans and peers didn't know KCP outside of basketball, and that was one of the reasons why the podcast we started. And it's based on just my college friends, my college teammates. So it's all of us, and really just out there just having fun talking and learning a little bit more about me that a lot of people didn't know.
Talk about being handsy on the defensive end. How do you apply that to a guy like Joel Embiid who draws so many fouls?
Try to stay solid as possible, show your hands. We know he's going to do a lot of the trying to draw the foul, like you said, a lot of the sweep throughs. For us, it's just showing your hands and just being there at the right time. Don't be too late. So we'll be able to get a couple steals or get him to turn the ball over a few times.
Thanks, Ken.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Nope.
Your organization talks about not only being champions on the court, but being off of it as well. To be recognized from the NBA for your work in the community, just how proud are you of that collective effort?
Man, it's dope, man. It's an honor to be selected. So this is a big league. We got a lot of dudes with a lot of money who are making a big impact over a lot of different places. So just to be recognized for that, it's an honor. And I'm gonna try to keep it the good work.
This season obviously is long. How do you kind of find your balance and kind of settle into how a season is going? It's maybe a little tough for you right now coming off the bench, but how do you kind of find stability after maybe a rough start?
I mean, for me, just staying consistent and with my routine, whether that's on the court, off the court, and just staying ready. That's all I can do, and I'm gonna continue to do that, and also be a good teammate at the same time.
What challenges do the 76ers present with Paul George and Joel available tonight?
I mean, those two dudes obviously can hoop. Two perennial all-stars who both very capable of scoring the basketball, know how to play. I mean, not just him. Kid Jared McCain's been hooping. I'm a fan of his game. They're a tough team, man. They're a vet team. They're older. They know how to play. I think if we go in there and play our brand of basketball, and that means dominating the paint, guarding at an extremely high level, I think we'll have a great chance to win this game.
You've been, I feel like, hitting the floor on the defensive end more than anyone, diving for loose balls, being all over the place.
Not more than Jalen, or KCP.
Maybe not. But
maybe not J.I. either.
Has that been something that you've been focusing on this season, of being more aggressive on the defensive end?
I'm just trying to do what I can to help the team win, and if that means I got to sacrifice my body on this play, I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we've talked to you a lot about your 50 Ways Foundation and the impact impact that it's had in Orlando, but for not only the team to recognize it, but for it to, you spoke about it a little bit earlier, but for the NBA at the macro level to see that sort of impact, how does that make you feel personally?
It's something for me that obviously I'm very passionate about my foundation, the 50 Ways Foundation, and to be publicly recognized for that is a great honor, and I'm super appreciative to be in a position where I can help people out, where I can extend a hand out, where I can just try to get back to the community, and I try not to abuse that power, and just at all times just help out, try to extend a hand, whatever I can, just to, especially here in Orlando, man. You guys have done a great job just being so welcoming and accepting of me since I've been here. I just want to do the same for the people around here.
Speaking about the people around here, you've been here when the home environment's been all different kinds of way.
Yeah, man. I've been here for no crowd, little crowd, a lot of crowd, some crowd.
But for you guys to now be in a position where, statistically you're the most dominant team in the NBA at home, just how much pride do you take in the fact that you've been able to grow that home court dominance in that way?
I think we experienced a brutal lesson of this past year where we lose in the playoffs after not losing the game at home. So I think for us, we've and Mose has done a great job for just overemphasizing protecting the home court. We gotta. This is our home court. We can't let people walk up in here and punk us. And so we just do whatever we can. We here. We got the best fans in the league, and it's personal whenever someone steps onto our court. And I think we've done a great job of showing that so far, and I think we have a great chance of keeping that up. God willing.